Okay. So let's go to our next session, which, as we mentioned, it was going to touch into areas of accessibility and inclusion. So, and we're going to start with Piotr with Cinema Without Barriers.
Thank you. Hello, I know this is the last day, the last panel, so I will try to put some heavier energy into my presentation. I can't, basically. Yeah, Cinema Without Barriers, Kino Bize, I'm sorry. It's a huge project. I don't have much time because it's a lot of context and a lot of journey that we are made recent year, because the project was launched in October. And accessibility, inclusion, and make your cinema open is a keywords for us. And it's not easy because of our venue. Javier, thank you. This is, yeah, okay. No, it's okay. Accessibility movie screenings. This is some photos of this project. It's Cinema Without Barriers. Repertoire film screenings taking place from October to June, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. I know it's early, but it's not a problem for with the audience. And in Tuesdays we have a screening with audio description and subtitles in Polish. And in Thursday, every Thursday at 6 p.m. we have audio description, subtitles, and Polish Sign Language live. PGM, Polish Sign Language. As you can see here, there is here is a screening with subtitles, and there is some small lights. It's not difficult to just put the light on the sign interpreter and not just writing into the screen, and they just interpreted sign language into the audience. And once a month we will invite viewers to talk about the film screened with authors, experts, specialists, directors, and also persons with disabilities. Tickets for screenings cost only 5 zloty, is about €1, because the economical barriers is one of the barriers, actually, because the people with disabilities has to spend money more for the treatment and rehabilitation and not for the cinema. It generates some problems, but I will talk about it later. And this is our venue. This is ZAMEK, which means, yeah, this is ZAMEK, which means no. Yes, yeah. This is my office because I am priest of this castle, so you know. Yeah, it looks beautiful, but it's we have and had a lot of problems with accessibility. But now it's okay, and we were trying to make everything to make this space with a lot of stairs and levels and floors, etc. It's quite an old building because it's an imperial castle, one of the youngest in Europe. Was made by Germans for the last emperor. Then was headquarters for the Nazis. Then was headquarters for the communists. And now it's a culture center when we are organized a LGBT film festival, for example. So that is, irony of the history. Yeah, there is a lot of stairs. We have 2 screenings room. The third one is for special events because it's the largest hall in our culture center, but it's basically for the concerts and theaters and meetings and so on. So we are daily using 2 cinema halls. The first one is 143 seats, and the second one, which we are opened last year in May, and was implemented to this project Cinema Without Barriers, has 48 seats. Yeah. Okay, technology. Yeah, it's really nice. And this is the screening room. This newest and oldest screening room, because this was before. This is the final solution. and this beautiful wooden screening room, very modernist and from 60s, and we just changed this place into new screening room with new screen, projector, etc. Yeah. So after we applied for some funds from the national institution, we do shopping, and we bought accessibility and equipment adapted to people with disabilities. There is we have our own headsets with transmitter for audio description, so you can go to our screenings and say, hey, I need a headset for audio description. There you go, and you go to the screenings. Disinfection case is here. It's important to disinfect, everything, not only headsets, but also glasses, from the 3D projections. Sorry. Sound processor, induction loop. We have induction loops in every cinema hall and in the box office as well. And accessibility ramps. This is the entrance to this second screening room, and this is the project of making a ramps. It's work in progress because we are in a very historical building, and our expertise and permissions for doing anything, it takes a long time, but I know that we will make it this ramp in April. So soon, and this is from the last week, I guess. The ramp next to box office. This is the main hall of the castle of the Zamek, and we had previously that kind of lift when you are going on the wheelchair, and you have to call to the security because they are coming and just turn off this lift, and then because it's so much takes time, and we are in hurry and go to the screening. You just can't, just waiting and calling for someone to bring you up, So we changed it, and we are remove this old lift and make this which is more convenient. Yeah. Yeah.
Just in case, does everyone know what an induction loop is? Does anyone not know?
Yeah. Yes. Induction loop is a kind of system when you have a wires under your seats, and there is a special processor connect to your projector, and when people has hearing aids, because they are not hearing well, they are just put this induction loop to on, and they are hearing these voices, the voices of the people of the outside, but only the sound from the movie. So yeah, it's induction loop. Yeah. Budget. I guess this is interesting for you. We have mainly received funding from the State Fund for Rehabilitation of Persons with Disabilities. It's a government institution. The city of Poznań, of which as we are a public cinema, we are part of, but also from the cinema and Zamek daily budgets. As you can see, the most expensive were not devices, renovation equipment, but film license and doing audio descriptions. Yeah, it's weird, but finally, I guess the amount of this is higher. But for now, this is the budget. But I guess about these ramps and driveways and all renovation, this final amount will be higher. About audio descriptions, we outsource audio descriptions to specialized foundations and companies. With the screeners of distributor, and it is quite difficult because not every distributors just want to give the screeners to this institution, and it is crucial because in our opinion we thought, and according to the Polish law, we thought that distributors should make audio descriptions for these films, not us, because it's a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort. And of course, we just did it because it's crucial for us. But even when we just want to make audio description, not for the classic movie or for the 10 years movie, but for the newest movie, because it's important to that people that be up to date, with the film program. They are just saying no, and we don't know why. It's so it's not that easy. But it's kind of system problems with making audio descriptions. But we are doing this all these audio descriptions for ourselves and with this institution, because we are contacting these people with disabilities and just want to know their opinion about these audio descriptions and the quality of the audio descriptions, because it's different. Some films that is funding from Polish Film Institute has audio descriptions from the distributor, but it's so low. It's like you have for example, a scene with a tree in the park. There is a audio description. There is a tree, and that's it. And it's not enough, It's so weird because we are seeing much more, and they should too, Yeah, the next one. Yeah, workshops and meetings. At least once a month, we are also organize a special event. A meeting here with for example, with the author of a book about animals, and we are talking about film Cat Daddies, maybe you know. This is the documentary about daddies with cats. Yeah, it's pretty good. And we had a meeting. Here is Jakub and Joanna. They are created this project. I am a manager of cinema. They are working in the same institution in ZAMEK, but in the different department. It's called, I don't know, Program for Society, kind of. And here is a workshop about medicinal herbs. And yeah, this guy created all this and applied for every funds. And just bring this project to our department and say, hi, we were making a screenings with audio description, but it was really, seldom and once a time, and only with the old movies. And these projects, our main goal is to make screenings more open with the newest films, because people with disabilities just want to, be up to date. And here is what? Yeah, and here is one of the screening when we are just invite our audience to feel like you are blind or deaf, and just take that experience and watch film with audio descriptions. And it's really, really cool, because even when you think that you know your favorite film and just watch it with audio description, there is so more, and you are discover more things, because audio description is a kind of interpretation, of the image. And when you are just had your eyes covered, is you just hear, and your imagination is working. And here is a workshops for our employees. For our cinema operators, technical guy. For us, it's about to know how to react to different things with people with disabilities. For example, how to fold the wheelchair, how to help, how to behave, because it's important when you just want to say something, not say to the to the family. When you have a question to this person, but to this person, just ask him, because there is a question for him, not for the other people. Yeah, next one. One thing about this workshop, recently, my company opened the free course of the basic sign language learning, where I also attend. It's pretty cool when we are just learning a basic sign language to communicate about, buying tickets, refund tickets, where is the place, hello, thank you, goodbye, and so on. It's pretty cool. When you want, I can show you some signs, after. Yeah, and about science, this is really important issue in our place because of the venue. When you are going to each cinema hall, you have assigned with induction loop. This is the sign information about in this hall. You can just turn on this option in your hearing aids for induction loop, and it's mandatory because as an institute, we are a public institution. As I said, we are assigned a declaration of accessibility. It's a document in whole country, in the whole Poland, that you are, just promise to make everything to be more open for people with disabilities. It's about everything, not only screenings with audio descriptions, but for example this, or for example information on your website. It's here when you just put kinopolacowe.pl. You can turn on the option with accessibility, yeah, and all information about entrance, because we have 3 main entrances, with a lot of stairs, and as well sign language interpreter to just see the video with interpreter to explain you how to get to this hall, how to buy a ticket, and we also making streamings from our meetings and our Q&A session, and always with sign language interpreter that you are just click on the YouTube and our account and can see, the entire meetings with someone, with the director, with sign language interpreter, and it's mandatory because of this declaration. And this is our the second cinema screening room, and we are just put the these places for the wheelchair, and it is glow in the dark. Just to see this place, and it was quite important for us to don't make just a seats in the first row for the wheelchair, because it's the usual, and it's not comfortable to watch a movie only from the first row. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, we also changed the logo, our logo institution. This is the previous one. This is the current one to see better, to see better the letters and the logo. And here is commercials of Cinema Without the Barriers. Just simple information, big letters, no unnecessary images, paintings, and so on. Just information about tickets, about hour, date, how long is the movie, and that's it. And that is all information that the people need. And we just want to make it's not complicated, because it shouldn't be. Young audience? No. Yeah, young audience. We want to encourage young audience to attend, so we are also organize, close screenings for groups in cooperation with schools and centers for the blind and deaf children. It's screenings for children with disabilities, but not only. And it's interesting because we want to draw the attention of the youngsters to people with special needs, including their colleagues as well. These screenings are very interesting form of watching a film, because for the children is interesting because it's different, and I just want to participate and experience that. And since we launched this project in October 2022, we have seen young people reluctant to participate in these screenings with audio descriptions. Yeah, because they are open-minded, you know, to that stuff, and this is important for them. This is one of the screenings, also with sign language interpreter. Yep. Yeah, this is the main entrance for our cinema, with the information about the lift for wheelchair, because the stairs is here and you just have to go, you know, on the left. There is a lift, there is another lift, then you go to the cinema hall. But it's yeah, it's quite fast, because we just did experiments kind of with people with disabilities and on wheelchairs. They are just go to our cinema and we are just timing, you know, how much is you have to go to the hall. And this is a small thing. You're talking about these little stairs to the box office. Yeah, I remember that too from Bologna lab. But we are also bought a little pillows for the children to better see the screen. Yeah, it's also you know, to make more open and access your cinema. Yeah, and the future. This is the last one, I guess. We deeply want to spread this project into Poland and abroad the country. So we applied to two project is grant under audience development and film education from the Creative Europe program to carry out a similar project at the European level in partner cinemas, Cinema Elvira Popescu, run by Institut François in Romania, in Bratislava, Slovakia, in Cerknica, Slovenia, and Szolnok, Hungary. So we are just waiting for the results. The second one is collaborate to innovate with 3 big cinemas in Poland, just to build an audience by creating a new regular program, repertoire propositions for persons with disabilities. Yeah, by presenting movies with audio description, subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, and translation into Polish Sign Language. We applied this year to collaborate, to innovate. There is some problems, but I guess we are just figuring it out. And the last one is our personal dream to make the third one. No. Oh, yeah. The last dream is about to make a cycle with classic movies for the people with disabilities. Because imagine that we have a gentleman, I guess, among 70 years old, and he never seen, you know, Titanic or Godfather, or you know that crucial movies that we just know, and you know, just don't imagine that we cannot see. And he's blind since the born, so he couldn't manage, and we just want to make it happen, to organize the screenings for people who doesn't see that important movies. And we launched to collaborate to invite this year. We are waiting for the results, and as you can see, we did. We did a job for ourselves in our cinema with our associates. So imagine, I don't know how high we can fly with you. Thank you. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you very much. Perfect with the time too, so that's great. Congratulations! It's not only beautiful, but it's like so you transmit, like you've thought about so many aspects of it. It's congratulations, honestly. Any questions? Yep.
I have a very short question regarding audio description that you said that you are doing inside, yeah? And you are having an expert, and it's quite difficult. Are you asking for scripts when you for screenplays when you do this?
Because yes. Yeah. Actually, we had to make audio description, because the only the screener, you know, with the image is not enough. We have to have a scripts to make audio description and subtitles in Polish. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, because I want to implement this, and I wonder if I would have an expert, or if asking for scripts, it could be also a help. So do you also have the scripts?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any more? Okay, thank you so very
Thank
much,
you.
and congratulations. Okay, so now we'll go to Janeta and Black Voices, Diverse Cinema Stories.
Thank you. So I'm going to introduce you with our program that's officially called Black Matters, Contemporary Black Voices in Cinema. Yeah, I will tell you. So I have to tell about some context that this project has been developing for quite some time, but actually it started only yesterday, so I won't be able to tell about our conclusions and everything. I'll just introduce you to our mission and our main goals in this project. So this is actually financed by the United States Embassy, because that's the only way how we find to finance a project, and also the specificity of the films. They are produced in the US, at least one of the producing countries. So we have 3 films that we are also distributing, because we're also a distribution, not only a cinema. And these titles are The Neptune Frost, and On the Count of 3, and The African Desperate, which some of you might recognize. And basically we're going to show them as the regular screenings and offer these to other cinemas in both Riga and other cities in Latvia. And right now it's actually very, very challenging, because a lot of cinemas are refusing, or they see it as a really challenging topic. They are refraining from taking these films because, I mean, I don't know, but we just assume the reasons behind it. And we were just talking with Mara also that in a smaller city outside of Riga, probably people wouldn't be interested in this. They would look at it with some kind of suspicion. And I mean, also from the Facebook comments now that we see it, there's just, of course, a lot of doubts about this. Why is this even important? Why is this necessary? So maybe the next slide. Yeah. So we decided to launch this project because obviously we see a big gap in what is represented and what is not represented in cinema. But not only that, like obviously the culture and in the discussions we have in our culture and society. Of course, this is something that has a lot of misrepresentation and misconceptions. So we want to be an educational platform. And yeah, I didn't mention, but all the screenings, we plan to provide discussions after the screenings, and also lectures before the actual screenings. And also we're planning in May to invite the director of African Desperate, who is both a film director and a visual artist. And in collaboration with the Latvian National Museum of Art, we're going to organize a workshop where she will focus on finding your own artistic voice. So it will be opportunity for filmmakers and artists to learn from somebody new, learn new approaches and how to express yourself. So yeah, basically we're contributing of this limited topic, and because other cinemas maybe are not so, they don't want to screen this, maybe in the end we'll be the only ones, even though we're distributing the films. Okay, so about the films themselves also, we just didn't choose them because they are great to represent the topic, but we chose them because they are really diverse in their artistic ways. And if you know African Desperate or Neptune Frost, they are very experimental and challenging, which is something that our audience loves, although, of course, you cannot always get a full house and everything, while On the Count of 3 is like a dark humor comedy, which will be easier to program and sell the tickets. But yeah, I think this program is very, very rich artistically, which can offer something more rather than just a regular repertoire and a regular program. Yeah, the next slide. As I already mentioned, our regular audience loves challenging themselves, and we have people that trust us with our selection, as of course everywhere. So we want to attract our common audience, as well as we focus on the socially active people from organizations. We invite them to participate in the screenings and the discussions to give them a platform to also talk and express their opinions. And also what we want to focus on more is inviting expatriates living in Latvia and international guests. Of course, we have quite a lot of foreigners coming in for regular screenings because a lot of our films are with English subtitles. But I don't think that so many people know about us, so maybe this is a program that will attract their attention as well. Next. So for now, about the expected results, because I can't tell you about conclusions. As I told, our main goal is just to be a platform where to talk about this, because we don't find that there's enough of this. I mean, of course, there are some articles regarding to film and Black history cinema and specific films made by Black filmmakers, but there is just this big void. Nobody's talking about it. And there's, I mean, yeah, yesterday I was just reading some reports, and turns out that from a survey, 60% of people told that they would refrain from colleagues from a different ethnicity, which I find to be a big number. And of course, it's just a survey, but you know, in general, of course, as a society, we're not maybe the most accepting to these topics, and there is so much misinterpretation and just not maybe general knowledge about these topics. So yeah, with this particular program, we focus on the civic responsibility and about finally discussing these things, educating things, and you know, finally talking about something that has not been talked about, and showing the people that that is also the problem, that it's just, you know, it's necessary to do that. I think I went really quick, but what else I can say? I mean, for now, we have managed to gain quite a wide publicity as much as we can in the newspapers or local cultural magazines, our main film criticism magazine, and like the morning news, the radio, and everything. But I mean, yesterday's screening, for example, it was not sold out, but it was very successful with the ambassadors, and we had a lecture before about the history of Black cinema from an expert. So I'm really curious to see how it goes, and maybe if you have any comments on this or suggestions or questions, then you can say it.
Yeah, thank you. So again, congratulations, because yeah, like trying to find those, especially in societies where there's those blind spots, like trying to shed some light in those spots is definitely, I think, one of those roles that make us, yeah, we're businesses, we have to, you know, make ends meet, but it's what differentiates us from other industries. Just one comment, I'm sure you know of them or by reading and stuff, but there is this very interesting collective in the UK called We Are Parable, that they do amazing work regarding that. They're freelancers, and they started not many years ago, and now they do a lot of workshops and programs, retrospectives all around the UK through BFI, but they also work internationally. It's a very interesting project that they have. That is always, I mean, I haven't gotten there yet, but it's like, if like both what you're doing and having them as references is always super inspiring. I was wondering, because maybe I got lost in the, because I was like trying to pay attention to when to change, but do you work with Black communities and communities of color, or do you, like, sorry?
Yeah, I get the question. Yeah, I mean, our main, I would say, the face of this program, he's Latvian, but he has an African background. He's a cinema critic in Latvia, so he's very knowledgeable about this topic. He has his own experience that he shares, and he knows the best how to communicate it, because about the communication itself, it can be quite challenging. So we, you know, have all these markers as like special, for example, a star, that this term is problematic within itself in terms of language, which we will also try to solve and see with the linguists how to do it, because it's, yeah, for years it's been, the linguists have been trying to solve it, but it's very problematic still, so that's what we're going to try to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Any questions? Yep.
Sorry if I missed something in your presentation, but is it this program basic on some screenings? Or yes? And
Yes,
also
yes.
second question, what the movies and from whom you take these movies?
Yes, so as we are also distributing these movies. So there are 3 movies, African Desperate, On the Count of 3, and Neptune Frost. And yes, we're doing screenings. We're showing them as in the regular repertoire in the months of spring until the end of May with all the discussions and everything. And we'll still see if other venues accept these films from us and want to show them.
Okay, thank you.
You had a question? Okay. Any more? No? Well, thank you so very much, and congrats. And lastly, we'll have Ophelia, and yeah, so the floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so can you hear me? Okay, yeah. I will present you our program MimoPlus at Broadway Filmtheater, which is just the name of our cinema. It's a program, as you already see on the picture, for seniors and elderly people, but of course, always everyone is welcome. And I just want to explain maybe the name because it's very catchy and maybe not very easy to understand. It's a German abbreviation actually because our screenings are always on a Wednesday morning, and in German that means Mittwochmorgen, and so we just said, okay, MimoPlus, and the plus is for the seniors so that they know that they're mentioned. Okay. Okay, about MimoPlus, the basic idea is actually a special film in a special setting, that's it. But of course, there's a little bit more to it. We cooperate with the Senior Citizens Office in Trier, and we offer always a selected film for the senior citizens once a month in the morning. So always on this Wednesday, we offer like a special movie. We decide ahead and plan that also ahead. And after the screenings, there's always the opportunity to talk about the film, and over a delicious homemade soup, it's maybe even more easier, and then they can sit in the cinemas, and we provide them with also coffee and snacks so that there's really a place to talk and communicate together. Yeah, it's quite, oh no. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, too fast. Yeah, it's already this year 10 years, so it's quite established over the time. Over the COVID, we had to pause, I think, for 2 years, and I think it's super good afterwards. Like the numbers are very high, and the seniors are super happy to return because we really had problems in the first years and very low numbers of visitors, what was sad, but we said, okay, we just trust the idea and we'll keep going, because in our city, we always say, it takes some time. In Trier, it always takes time. When you have an idea, you can say, okay, it takes 2 or 3 years until many people know and will come. So yeah, we are actually very happy. We already had over 86 screenings and many, many happy guests. I think the number is way too low. I did last night a little, like a small calculation, and I think it has to be definitely higher, or otherwise it would really be sad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and what's going on? Like there are 4 important aspects we really focus with that. One is the cooperation with the Senior Citizens Office. It's called the Seniorenbüro. It's a contact and information point in the city, and it's only staffed with volunteers, and they offer a wide range of offers for the senior citizens. So they really focus to create a program in the city and offer a lot for them especially. And our cooperation is that we promote each other and we bring them our program, and we also have their program at our place so that we really exchange and offer the seniors 2 places where they can come. And our program is just one of the options you can do in our city for seniors, because our city is pretty small and old, so we have many seniors actually. Yeah, and it's always a 6 months programming, and we always also invite our guests to make suggestions. It's always based on movies which we already showed in the last years, which went very well, or where people were like, oh, this was so much fun, or I haven't seen it, can we maybe show it in this program, so we always try to also include our audience, and the focus is on national and European movies, but I will say a little bit to that later. And then, of course, the social meeting is a very important part of it, because we really wanted that this is not only a movie experience, but it's really a social gathering and also a cultural participation in our city, because we don't have that much to offer in our city for culture and especially seniors, so we really want to be a trust to welcome them. And yes, I already mentioned there's always a soup and get-together. We also offer coffee before the movie, and it's always very nice. They come in groups together. We always know them, like my colleague is doing that, and I think she knows 80% of the audience. And so we talk and share ideas, and it's always about the movie, and it's very nice. Yes. Yeah, this is just a small selection, actually, of the movies we showed. But I just want to give you a small impression, because that might be a little bit special about our city, and also in Germany. So we show like only European and mainly on French and German movies, because we have quite a lot of German movies. And also the French movies are very popular in our region, because we are super close to France, Luxembourg, Belgium and everything. So especially French comedy is very popular and well liked in our cinemas. Yeah, and the idea with the movies is actually to not choose too complex movies and to, I don't know, the idea is just to choose movies that are based on real stories or about families or relationships, or tell just the life of someone, or show how it is when you're older and maybe the problems. So it's always about nice stories where the people can adapt to and can talk to and can relate maybe also their life to. And yeah, this is also because we really want to make them think and talk together and exchange their own ideas and opinions maybe. So yeah, this is why our program is mainly based on comedies and dramas and like nice stories, which are nice to follow. And about us and our main goal with this is, of course, the focus on this audience group, because the seniors are a very important target group in our cinema. We have also other programs, so this is really a focus, and we really think they're important guests. The program is especially made for that, so that it really fits, and I think that's always, nice, mixed up. And of course the local cooperation, since we're a very small city, we also have many small business by few people, it's like also our cinema and also family business a lot around us, so we really want to try to cooperate and work a lot with local other companies. And of course the connecting part, not only that as a cinema we want to connect with the seniors, but also that they get the opportunity to connect to each other. And another very important aspect is actually the accessibility. We always screen those movies, this program, in two of our screens, and we would never change it into another one because they're super easy accessible, there's a little bit more space, we have small tables between the seats, and there's a wheelchair lift for those two cinemas. So a few weeks ago it was like sold out, and we were like, okay, we have to maybe go into a bigger screen to sell more tickets, but then we said no, we rather do it in two different screening rooms because of the accessibility, because those rooms are very nice to access. Yeah, and of course the communication is always important, not only our communication with them, but also among them. This is why we really place this in this setting. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much. If I may, and since we're good on time, I want to comment that, like, congratulations on the project, because, you know, and this may sound a bit controversial, but I promise you it's not. Like, for years now, we've been talking about young audience development and young audience development and young audience development, which is true and it's necessary, because you know, this phrase, and I know this phrase is also very controversial, like, our audiences are literally dying, so we need, you know, to grow new audiences. I mean, both things are true. However, and there are some funny anecdotes about some Sevilla lab, which I won't say now, but if anyone wants to know, I'll tell them in private. However, you know, sometimes when people in labs try to push against these young audiences and say, no, these seniors, what I've experienced is that they always go with like, let's keep doing what we were doing. Like, you know, we are right, then that's it. Just give them a glass of champagne and kick them off. And that's how we treat our seniors. And that's, looking at your project, it's really like you've implemented all this thoughtful, innovative, like all these characteristics that we talk about for implementing them to young audiences. You've implemented them for a senior audience, which is crucial because they have more money in their pockets, they have a different time frame availabilities, they have all these potential new sources of income for the projects, that it's very refreshing and interesting to see how you've applied this young audience development mentality to senior audience program. So congratulations, honestly, because I think it's the path, it's the way to do it.
Yeah, I just actually want to mention, but I forgot, we're always focusing so much on the young audience, which is very important because they're our future and our future audience. But I think it's also so important to not miss out the seniors, because at our place, we do like also some other things. It's so nice because many of them are coming and they have the time, the free time, and as you mentioned, always the finances, and they can come whenever they want, mostly because many of them are already retired. I think it's so important to offer them too, because we may have many of them also bringing their children and grandchildren and coming together on the family days. So I think that's very nice to also look that you have for everyone something.
Yeah, congratulations, and especially like again, like we've been looking at the UK and for example for many years now, especially like Germany and the Netherlands have been like taking over in like innovative actions. But in the UK, like what they call 11Cs screenings have been there for ages, and they work, and you can combine those innovations. So congrats. I'll just start with a question. Like you're offering a free soup, which I find lovely and adorable.
It's not completely
free. No, what I meant is that you offer soup.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, is this within the price of the ticket? Is it a plus? How does that work?
Yeah, we have a combination. So we have like a normal ticket when you say, okay, I just want to see the movie, and you can also add like for €2, like you get a coffee and tea flat. And I think it's €3 or €4 to add. Then you have the coffee and the soup afterwards. So yes.
Nice. Any other questions? I'll have another one.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
Do you what you mentioned communication and stuff, but is the same way that Piotr was saying, like we changed certain things of the communication, and you also talked about how the star things, you know, have you adapted your communication in a certain way or certain paths, for example? Like where do you choose to promote it? Are there any specifics that you could tell us about that?
Yeah, like the Senior Citizen Center is definitely a good approach. So they have our program, but for this we actually do a printed small program. It has a few pages, and it's always in the cinema, and sometimes also we bring it some other places, and I think it's very important for them because they're not that comfortable with online, and so we don't do a lot of promoting on Instagram or so. It's mainly like the small program we print, the print version, and it's very well liked. So there's some images with the next movies which are coming. We always do like one for the entire season for 6 months, and it's always they're always coming in August, September. Like, when is the program ready? I want to know what movies we're showing. So we always try to have it a little bit ahead. But this is just the main advertising we do, and it's working actually good.
Nice, thank you. Oh yeah.
Just a quick one. I was thinking, great. I might come back and talk about coffee some more if you wish.
Yeah, that's good.
I was wondering, because we do kind of a similar thing, but we do it weekly.
Yeah.
So I was wondering about the frequency. Like, did you think about doing it like more often, like twice a month? Why? Because you do it monthly, right?
Yes,
Once a
right.
month. So I was thinking, like, why just once a month? Why not more? Or maybe.
So honestly, I don't really know because I'm not doing the program. But over the last couple of days, many of you actually do a similar program. I was wondering, like, why are we only doing it once a month? You're right. I mean, it's always good to leave maybe the summer out because it's not that popular to go in the summertime to cinema. Of course, it's a lot of work. My colleague always insists on cooking the soup herself. So it takes some time. But maybe, yeah, it could be an opportunity to maybe do it twice a month or so, yeah. I think that's a good idea. I will talk to her.
I love that the soup is the barrier.
Yes.
My question is also kind of connected, not directly to the soup, but because you mentioned like the soup and the tea and the discussion from my own experience, while we do not have a special program for seniors, whenever I speak to seniors like before or after the screenings, they are the most talkative group. So I feel like the idea to have like a social communal space is very important for this. So I was wondering, do the employees of the cinema engage the seniors themselves? Do you like lead the discussions? Or is it like an open space and just however it flows?
Yeah, it really depends, I think. So we don't do like a Q&A or like a talk about after the movie. We don't do that like organized. So we leave the discussion open. But of course, we also engage. So my colleague is always doing it. And also we have another university student who is always supporting her. And we really know them well. So of course, they're engaging. They're talking about the topic, about other topics, about the movies, whatever. So it's definitely very interactive with us too as the people working there. But they're also sometimes coming like really in big groups. The last time we had like a group of 12 ladies. And so they were very busy talking about everything and their interests. So it's a nice mix actually.
Just the last question about the soup.
Yeah. It's going to be so famous soon.
The recipe for the soup is chosen by your friend or?
With what?
Recipe.
The recipe, my colleague is very creative with that, so she always decides what kind of soup, also matching to the season. So in the winter time, it's, I don't know, it always depends. She always makes another one.
Yeah, one thing which comes to my mind is that you can ask the people, the seniors.
What they like?
About the recipe.
They're actually complaining when it's not the soup they prefer. So.
Okay.
Good idea.
Thank you.
I just want to comment something about this senior programs because we also have it. So the more you offer to them, like soups, drinks, this and that combination of the events with other venues, you got more and more space for complaints.
Yeah, I might add to that. Once my colleague was on holiday and so I had to take over, and I never did that before, even in those 10 years. And I just had too much to work, so I couldn't manage to cook a soup. So I had croissants and other snacks for them, so I thought I would be fine, but they were so angry.
This is a suggestion. Maybe you can try and some climax from Gaspar Noé's climax vibe. You put something into the soup and see what happens. I don't know. I put it just out there. Do whatever they want with what you want with that information.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no.
I wonder if you thought about linking the type of the soup with the film that is shown, or the food that is shown in the film. Because I am from Romania, so you know that almost in every film we have a meal in the film. So maybe to have a connection between the content and the soup.
Yeah, you mean like the topic of the movie connected to the food? Yeah, I don't know if we do that, and we did that like in another program, but I don't know if always the soup fits the cuisine of the movie. So I don't know if it's French soup and there's a French movie. I don't know. It's more like, what do we want to do now? But it's a good idea to match it.
Well, to all of our colleagues in YouTube, welcome to a culinary channel. Any more questions? No? Okay. Thank you so very much and congratulations. Okay, so we found ourselves in the exact same situation as yesterday. Let's walk that wire again. So we, instead of half an hour, we're gonna have maximum 50 minutes only if you want, and those of you who want. Because at 1:45, we are gonna go outside and take a wonderful group picture, right? Yeah, okay. So we have two options here, like individually, all of us. One, we can stay here and talk about whatever the conversation ends up being, probably soup. But you know, wherever the conversation goes, and it's fluid, and people can come and go, and whatever. Or the rest of you can go outside and I don't know, just get some sun for the picture, or get ready, get your best dresses for the picture. I don't know. But yeah, like officially, we're finished with the session, and whoever wants to stay here and chat about whatever as a group, I'll be here. And the rest of you can just enjoy the G8, lovely G8. So, thank you.